Mike, I gotta tell you, my friend, it actually feels pretty good being alive once more.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm glad you're back. I am, to be perfectly honest, I didn't know you were gone for very long, but now that you're back, it's all good. It's back to normal.
So like when I came back alive, it was like I realized how comfortable like being not alive is. Like,
oh yeah,
it's just like it's chill, you know. It's like a bunch of empty nothingness, and then my consciousness drifted back, and then I was alive again, and then all the pain suddenly returned.
That kind of sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Are you okay? You still in pain or?
Well, no. Like 20 minutes passed, and like I got used to it.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm
like
now
we
I'm
all
just
do.
like I'm the same as always now.
Okay.
Is that the elevator? Adam's
here?
Yeah.
I know. What?
God.
Oh.
My fucking God. I drove all the way out to Paramus for this kid to get... They got a Phantom Fireworks out there, and I drove all the way out there to get some fucking M80s. I got the one that goes up, and it pops for a second, and you don't think anything's going to happen, and then it explodes. What?
Duane. Okay.
I got the fireworks.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate that, Duane. Alex, I don't know if you've ever met. This is Duane Reade. His store occupies the first floor of the Barone Zone.
Of course, I've heard of you, Duane the Pain Reade.
Yeah,
that's right,
yeah.
Duane the Pain. I cause it and I take it away. Ibuprofen is 55% off right now, but it is loose.
That's actually... You're selling loose ibuprofen?
Yeah, and we lost the scoop. We lost the scoop. So
you lost the scooper?
Yeah, those motherfuckers across the street, they took my scooper. They were running around smacking each other with it.
The impractical jokers? I mean...
So you gotta dig your hands in. Yes, the fucking impractical jokers. No, Mrs. Henderson, who lives across the street. No, right next to her in the giant fucking skyscraper.
You know what? I know that Mrs. Henderson isn't the kind of person to do that because I'm constantly seeing her walking around with fistfuls of ibuprofen. So I know that she's a regular.
Well, yeah,
yours.
she has a problem.
Yeah, she eats by the fistload.
She has a serious problem.
Yeah.
Look,
but she's a regular.
I'm proud that I got her off oxys, but
baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby
small
steps.
victory.
Next step, I'm actually trying to replace her ibuprofens with Skittles.
Oh, that
seeing
would
if
be.
she's gonna notice.
Hey, you and me, let's work together because the Skittles are loose too, and I gotta move them.
Yeah, that's like my age-old trick. Like I mix them together. That way, I can actually eat the Skittles because I can only taste the ibuprofen then. Otherwise, Skittles are just too tough to eat.
I mean, look, it sounds like the Jokers hit you again. They've been pranking everybody these days.
Oh my
God. They got me with. I mean, I'm in a weird spot with Murray right now, and I don't appreciate the rest of their behavior. They're building up their floor. They're putting weird signs in the window taunting us that they're getting close to our 100th floor.
It was their fault that I died. Oh, wait, no. That was Mike and Adam.
No, that one was us.
I'm angry at them.
Yeah, no, they put a sign in the window that says you guys suck. I mean, it's not imaginative, but it still hurts my feelings.
Well,
so,
yeah.
Look, me and the kid, your co-host, we're working on something.
Adam?
Yes. Is that how you pronounce it? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Adam. That's how it's pronounced.
I said Adam for like a couple of weeks, and he didn't correct me.
Yeah,
No, it's Adam.
He's very socially anxious and will go along with most things unless it actually becomes a serious problem. But
oh yeah. So what did you suggest? What did you use What did you suggest to Adam? Because he'll go with that no matter what you said.
Yes, he absolutely went along with no problem. He looked like he didn't quite know how to respond, so he was just smiling and nodding a lot. It's almost that was his coping mechanism or something. But this is what we're working on. So the Jokers. They live across the street in that big skyscraper next to Mrs. Henderson.
Yeah, and we hate them. They're currently pranking Mrs. Henderson, actually, while I look out here.
I don't know if you can call that a prank. They are pushing that woman to the ground.
Oh my traffic. We should call someone.
It looks like they want her fistfuls.
Oh, the cops in this town aren't going to do anything. The cops in this town
because they think it's hilarious. They think it's
the jokers own the cops.
Look, ACAB. Look, this is what we're doing. Because these jokers, look, they're coming into my store, and it's already not great business. This is the only store that Walgreens let me keep when they bought the company. So the resources aren't what they used to be. I've already mentioned the pills are loose. The pills are loose.
You did mention that you can no longer afford canisters, and that's leading to 55% off. Most
of my employees are MTA bus drivers who were dishonorably discharged from the service. Every aisle has those It's Showtime guys from the subway doing a performance in there. I get a cut from that, so that's good, but they don't make a ton of money. I was going to say, I mean, I'm going to be honest, like, your store's got character, at the very least. It's got a unique character, but the jokers, first floor of their building, they're putting in a fucking CVS.
Oh, no.
So that's the nail in my coffin. So here's what we're going to do.
That's it.
We are going to attach rocket boosters in the form of these fireworks that I got from Jersey. We're going to attach them to the bottom of the Joker's Tower. We're going to auction off the opportunity for one lucky citizen to press the button that launches them into space. So their space is problem now. I've been informed that legally, space law is much murkier than ground law.
Yeah, it's like the Old West up there.
I mean, so a couple things here. First of all, it sounds like a great prank. Like this is the ultimate prank to get rid of them. They'll be in space. They won't know what hit them. It'll be hilarious.
We're calling it the big prank.
The big prank. I love it.
The big prank.
Are you sure that those Paramus poppers are going to be enough to launch those guys into the stratosphere?
They better fucking be.
Mike, I went to art school. I can tell this is enough. It's going to work.
I mean, this is a lot of explosives. Like, I cannot explain how many explosives. I am, like, no offense, Duane, you're a small man, and I am shocked that you were able to carry...
I'm small. I was small to begin with, and then with age, I've stooped considerably. I am... The only way to describe me is L-shaped.
No, I mean, you can't be standing higher than 4'2". I
look like the Staples logo.
Yeah, just a little bit. And, I mean, but, like, those are, like, massive bags of poppers. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, that's a federal crime to carry that many poppers.
No. Legal in Jersey. Right. They're legal in Jersey. You know, I purchased them in Jersey.
Brought them back here.
Brought them back here. That makes them legal here. That's how it works. Honestly, transitive property. Do you know math? Honestly, transitive property?
Yeah. No, I follow. I'm just kind of surprised that you were able to fit that many poppers through the Lincoln Tunnel, if I'm being honest with you. I didn't think that it had the
I took the circumference. Took the path train. You know, I lived with the MTA guys. We took the path. Yeah. This is hyper-local, specific public transit information for residents of the New York metro area. I think I saw you guys put a sign up that you have a listener in Australia or something. Fuck them.
We're very proud of that. Well, I guess we were proud of that.
Well, well, no, we're proud of that. Duane might not be, but we are individually proud of that. I hate Australia. What's your problem with Australia?
Well, I didn't have a problem with Australia until these jokers, they come into my store. Look, I can't take another week of these guys. First of all, I thought there were 4 of them. They're up to like 15 or 16. One of them
They are bringing in people from all over the world.
They split through mitosis.
There's Murr, there's Q, there's Joe, there's Sal, there's Ashton Kutcher, there's Alfred, the British butler. They got the fucking Stranger Things kid
Frosty
doing prank encounters. Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph, Giuliani.
Listen, they got Giuliani? They got Giuliani for the reason
He's in there dripping hair juice on everyone. They got Giuliani. He'll lean over their shoulders and Q will be like, Giuliani, drip some hair juice on him. And he does it. And it's causing chaos in my aisles. Look, they got the cop, they got the biker, they got the construction worker.
I really want to be pissed at these jokers, and I am, because they are actively assaulting Mrs. Henderson, which we all know is Duane's best customer. But I will say that, I would pay for that subscription on True T. I would pay to watch Giuliani prank people with Frosty the Snowman. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
Well, you can, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Well, fucking
we'll
True
help them out
TV
even
Plus,
more.
they've got it all over the buses.
Yeah.
It's truer TV.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing too. We had a bus that was a half and half advertisement, half everybody loves Raymond, half just your face with the title Duane
That's right.
Reade. And,
I appreciate the synergy.
And they outbid us. They outbid us. Now they got the entire True TV Plus thing on the bus. You know what? Honestly, though, this is a great prank, and I think it'll be good publicity for him. I mean, Impractical Jokers in space. What's better? What's better?
Yeah, and
It's
we'll get
sort
some
of a
credit
win-win
too.
situation for everybody.
I mean, as long as this doesn't get
To circle back, though, the reason I hate Australia is because
Thank you,
Crocodile
yes.
Dundee is now part of the Jokers. He's walking around my aisles. He's showing people knives. He's saying, "You think that's a knife?" He's pointing to my fucking plastic cutlery, which is loose, and he's saying, "You think that's a knife?"
Do you
Well,
even have
Duane, I
shelves
could
in your store, Duane? Do you even have shelves
we
in your
have
store?
shelves.
It's just a big
We have
pile of
shelves.
crap.
We just have no way to organize things upon them.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
loose. So we've got the seasonal aisle, but you know me, I'm a very religious man. I only observe the Christian feast days. So we've just got loose St. Christopher medals and other Catholic specifics up and down those aisles, and they're sort of intermingling with the STI checks, the tests. They're sort of intermingling with the condoms, which we should put those in the same section, but they're not.
Yeah, St. Chris would want nothing more than to be mixed up with those. Anyway, so Duane, when is the big prank happening?
Hold on, I have more specifics that I wrote down.
Oh my God! Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
tell me
he's
more
got
about the
Mike,
layout of your
did
store.
you not see the binder Duane brought up?
This is my evidence file.
It was covered behind the absolute mounds of fireworks.
That's right. Look, I showed this stuff to Comey. He didn't do anything about it. He said he doesn't work there anymore.
Oh,
Are there enough
ATV?
References?
At the ATF? Yeah, I think you got it. Anyway, so this definitely not act of domestic terror is we're rattling off the ability to push the button. When exactly?
You didn't let me say what my specifics were. So
You said so many specifics.
You said so many things.
So we've got the Christian feast
know?
aisle, we've got the seasonal aisle, and I'm just trying to sell St. Christopher medals and other Catholic specifics to Mrs. Henderson and all my regular customers. You guys come down there, you do the skincare, the Barone skincare, which we put up a beautiful end cap for. And I'm trying to give, my products, my loose products to all my regulars, and the Joker's in there. They got cameras in every aisle. They're doing like 55 simultaneous pranks. Their earpieces are causing feedback over the loudspeaker. And I like to play Billy Joel, of course, full volume.
Exclusively.
But
Of course.
I only like the one song. I like My Life. I like
And
My
it's
Life a lot.
That's a great song. That's a great
Yeah.
song.
And then I get over there, and I always come on, and I go ahead with your own life, leave me alone. And Mrs. Henderson, every time, claps for me, and as she claps, loose pills fall out of her sleeves. She has a serious problem.
And that's the one. Those are the ones you pick up and then sell.
That's
at,
right. Well, I'm not
marked
going to
down
leave good
prices.
merchandise on the floor.
Of course.
The Jokers are in there. They're drinking all my big waters. They're drinking all my big waters. I can't, and the water's loose.
I'm sorry, what? What was that,
Water's
Duane?
loose.
The water's loose? That just sounds like a flood. Are they drinking the flood?
It's a hose.
Oh my God.
It's a hose that goes into a kiddie pool. It's an
Duane,
islander's kiddie pool full of what used to be Evian.
Duane, we appreciate
It's Evian,
your
but it's
business.
loose.
Okay, yeah, I get it. I'm
Okay,
now
thank you,
starting.
Duane.
I'm now starting to think that maybe the CVS might be necessary competition in Limerick. I love you, Duane. I don't
That's-
want you to die out, but this seems like a health violation.
But look, we're going ahead with the auction. We're going to get the very best. We're going to covertly install the fireworks at the base of the tower. We're going to launch it into space, auction off the opportunity to press the button. Pressing the button is very popular. People will come from far and wide to press the button. So I'm
would
not
press the
worried
button.
about this going
I
off
press
without a
the
hit.
button. What's the starting bid, by the way?
The starting bid is $55,000.
Okay, I will not be
that's a-
pressing this button.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. All right,
I have,
mean,
on good authority, that would be enough to purchase several containers. which would solve a lot of my problems.
That's what you want? You just want several containers?
Well, if I get containers, I can compete with the best of them.
All right. Then you can start competing
And
with
getting rid of
BS.
the jokers would be good. But anything on top of that, that's gravy, which is, I do sell.
Yeah. Oh, loose.
Yep.
As we know. As we know.
You carry it out in your hands.
In the same, honestly,
I carry
in the
it out
same,
with my hands, and Mrs. Henderson drinks it, and she takes it like communion. It's beautiful. We have a weird thing going on, her and I. I can tell you guys about it, but I don't know. How old are you guys? Are you legal? Can I tell you about this?
No, we're not legal.
Okay,
Please
then
go
I'll
away.
Look, I gotta go though. One of my MTA guys is taking me to Seth Meyers. We're gonna heckle him and throw oranges at him.
Oh, that sounds like a great time.
Oh, throw one for me.
Oh, you don't like Seth Meyers either? Why don't you come with us?
I would, but I'm not alive.
He did die a few weeks back.
Back me up, Mike.
Yeah, he's kind of dead. Yeah.
You kids are fucking weird, but pay your rent
You
on time,
know what?
so that's all I.
You know what, Duane? Thank you. You know what, Duane? I appreciate that.
Some people. Oh my god.
All right, listen. Are you just gonna leave?
Yes,
the
I'm
entire mound of explosives.
Yes,
no,
the
explosives. No, like that. Like if we try to cook something in here, we will die.
This is Adrian's share of the fireworks.
So why'd you bring him up here if you're gonna bring him to the building across the street?
I already did my part. I did my part.
This is the 100th floor. Why'd you bring him up here?
I did the top two corners of the building. Alan is gonna do the bottom two, and then we're done. But I did my part. I'm going to give him 25% of the auction price, and I think that's fair compensation. I drove all the way to fucking Paramus, so I think I deserve 75%.
I thought you said you took the path to Paramus.
No, I drove to Paramus.
And you left your car behind
What
took
you have
the
to
path
understand
back?
about my car is that it's very, very hot, and I
all
mean
right, thank you,
that
Duane.
in the sense of theft as well as literally.
All right,
Join the pain, everyone.
Thank you very much, Duane.
All right, I gotta go.
Holy shit! How does that guy turn a profit? Why do we pay him rent?
Oh, hey, Duane, how's it going? Hey, oh my God, it's so good to see you, buddy. Oh, you look there. There's you, Adam. Okay, well, I never get along with that. Hi, guys. How are you doing? I never get along with that guy. I don't know.
So why do we pay Duane Reade rent when we own the Barone Zone?
And more importantly,
he calls it rent. It's protection.
It's protection.
Yeah.
So we don't get turned into a Duane Reade.
I mean,
right.
he's got gravy in the pool with his Evian water that he sells. Like he does not run a. How the fuck does he turn a profit?
He's clearly a very powerful man.
Well, you know Mrs. Henderson, right?
Oh, you wouldn't believe this, Adam. We were just talking about her.
Really?
Yeah. How's she doing?
Not great from the looks of it. Look out the window right now. Yeah.
Oh God, they just pushed her down into traffic again.
Yeah, they just left her there.
No,
oh my God,
she's
wait.
been there for a while.
They pushed her down, and now they're picking her up, and they're dragging her to the LIRR station, and are they tying her to the tracks? Oh my God,
Sal, that is not a good prank.
Oh my God,
oh my God,
Stranger Things kid. Oh no.
Looks like
Crocodile Dundee is showing her the knife. God, Australia.
You know what? It looks like they're actually just doing a trolley problem, and that's the way they're pranking that poor dude,
the train just went by on the other track.
They forgot to grab 6 other people to put on that track.
Yeah, so that was a really easy trolley problem. That was pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Good on the driver. He made the right decision.
Yeah.
Oh
no, they're
God.
tying him to the track now. Oh God. Yeah, those guys are nuts.
Yeah, those guys are.
They didn't like that he solved it, and I guess 'cause it looks like they're tying.
They're
him down
very
now.
vindictive.
Honestly, I don't think they're pranking anymore. I think
There's
this is
so
just
many
a straight
of
up
them.
gang.
Yeah, I think they're an angry mob.
They're not even recording anymore.
Yeah, and I thought my biggest problem was Marie, and I just, you know what? I think I don't know if I can date her anymore because of this. That's yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you how that was going.
I mean, honestly, the last straw was that we had our 6-week anniversary, and she brought me a bald cap, and
Oh no!
like like suspenders.
Better than a razor, my friend.
And like boxers and yeah, I mean,
and
listen,
a white T-shirt.
And and also a replica Korean War veteran card. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I'm into that. So
Oh, that's interesting. Look, whatever you guys want to do, for your relationship. If you think it's time to part ways, it's time to part ways. But it's a little hypocritical, Mike.
I recognize
you want
that.
Mur to dress up as Marie, but you're not willing to dress up as Frank.
I recognize that. I am also a little bit concerned about myself that the fact that I just watched him tie innocent people to a train track does not rank higher in my reasons.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's a little shallow, Mike. I don't know.
I listen.
Are you
I'll
kink shaming Mur?
No. I guess I am a little bit. I guess I am. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Adam, Duane left a truly dangerous amount of fireworks right.
Oh no, that was our agreement. He's gonna give me 50% of the auction price. I'm pretty excited.
Okay, well, just make sure you don't. We know you like your smokes, so just make sure you don't put it out over there. Yeah.
That's a canon fact about me is that I smoke like a chimney.
Yeah.
And yet a voice as smooth as silk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not do a gravelly voice if I tried. But I did go to Blockbuster and get the tape of the episode so we can finally watch it.
Okay, yeah, let's go watch that.
This is season 1, episode 20 of Everybody Loves Raymond, right? 120, Neighbors?
Yep, that's it.
Yep, that's it.
So why don't we... have we been...
We've been recording.
You guys figured out how to start recording without me? That's awesome.
I don't know if we figured it out. I think we might have accidentally just pushed the wrong button.
Well,
anyway.
I guess we did the first segment.
I was looking for the tanning bed, and I guess I just pressed the record button.
They are right next to each other.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you are indeed listening to Everybody Loves Raymond. And right after these sponsors, we'll be right back to talk to you about Season 1, Episode 20 of Everybody Loves Raymond, Neighbors.
Hi everyone, Alex here from Everybody Loves Raymond. Today's episode is brought to you by Todoist. Become focused, organized, and calm with Todoist, the world's #1 task manager and to-do list app. Todoist is delightfully simple and deceptively powerful. That's why over 30 million people organize billions of tasks in Todoist for their work, education, and personal life. Get the confidence to make progress on the things that are important to you with Todoist. Please support this show by visiting Todoist through postfun.info/ads. Again, that's postfun.info/ads. And when you get there, let them know that Raymond sent you.
Welcome back to Everybody Loves Raymond. Did we welcome people the first time? I don't know. Nope. I wasn't here.
We didn't introduce ourselves, didn't do anything.
Okay. So I'm Adam Reade, and I'm joined by Alex Shear.
Hello, and I'm joined by Mike D's Nuts.
Hey, that's me. I do have D's Nuts. How we doing, everybody?
We're doing good, man. Hey, call in. We're taking calls. Would you fuck Raymond? Let us know. That phone number is 1-800-RAYMOND. Hey,
we just had.
Hey, there you go.
We should get 1-800-Raymond. We won't.
No, we won't.
We just had like a dozen people who listened to us for the first time click off forever.
I wasn't here for the beginning, but I imagine that
that would have turned them off.
As soon as they heard the start.
No. As soon as we talked about Alex's resurrection, I think that they were like, maybe not. So
Well, from this point on, it's all about our boy Ray.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're not shock jocks. We are three friends who are in the penthouse of a skyscraper, looking across the street at another skyscraper populated by a rapidly expanding group of impractical jokers. And then we have a little plan to take care of that. But mostly we're here. We meet here every week to talk about Everybody Loves Raymond. We do a scene-by-scene breakdown, and we, of course, rate Ray on a scale of 1 to 10. That's our patented barometer. Today, we are talking about Season 1, Episode 20, Neighbors. And what are your guys' overall impressions of the episode? Mike, why don't you lead us off?
I thought this was a great episode. We've talked before about like iconic scenes that we remember of Raymond. For some reason, the scene where Ray goes to the confessional is like etched in my mind. So when I saw that happen, I was like, oh, I thought that was later in the series. All right, this is great. But yeah, it has some really good moments, some really good character work, some really, really shitty neighbors, and we'll talk about that too. But yeah, I thought it was a really solid episode. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Awesome. Alex, what was your overall impression?
Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, The Great Gatsby, and now Everybody Loves Raymond joins them as one of the greatest tragedies of all time. This story, this episode, was just heartbreaking for Ray. It really puts him in a situation that is, I believe, almost unwinnable.
No.
It would take like an expert of psychology and family dynamics to navigate their way out of the web that was constructed in this episode.
Yeah, no, you would need like a surgeon's touch. I agree with you, Alex. Yeah,
I agree.
It was I really liked this episode. I thought it was fun. I thought there was a lot of good humor. The confessional actually, I think, was hilarious.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to enjoy it, but no, I loved it. So that's really it. How about you, Adam?
I agree. The problem in this episode, I think you can compare it to the pilot a little bit because in that Ray is dealing with whether or not he confronts his parents over their behavior. In this one, that situation was relatively minor, where it's just, Deborah's birthday. In this one, it feels like this is something that a reasonable person would be conflicted about. Like, the drama at the heart of this episode, I think, is really strong. And I don't, not to spoil the rating at the end of it, but I don't blame Ray for feeling guilty, for being conflicted about this.
Yeah.
And then the comedy moments were really strong. That confessional scene was super funny, just from like the playing out of that bit was really, really strong. And that actor was really good. We'll talk about him later. But the first thing,
research.
Yeah, I did some research beforehand.
I know you always do. You always do.
Have you met Adam?
Yeah.
This is what he does.
Yeah, true. You're not wrong.
To be real with you guys, I actually didn't do the research on the guest actors before.
So we're looking them up right now.
Yeah.
Right
We'll
now,
edit
yeah.
that out.
All right, sorry about that.
But yeah, so we start off with a guest actor who might be familiar to Michael, at least.
Yeah.
Mike, do you want to tell us?
I had no idea who this person was.
Yeah, we've actually done a breakdown of this guy before. This guest star opening the cold open today is none other but than the legendary baseball manager Tommy Lasorda. We've already been talked about Tommy Lasorda because I believe in it was one of the first 2 or 3 episodes. Ray has a theoretical conversation with Tommy Lasorda after his retirement from the Dodgers. But we don't actually hear his voice. We don't actually hear or see his appearance. And in this one, apparently the interview was not done because Tommy Lasorda decides to visit Ray in his home. But just a breakdown, Tommy Lasorda is widely regarded as one of the greatest baseball managers of all time. He worked almost exclusively for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He did work a little bit for the Kansas City Athletics, but before they moved to Oakland. But for the majority of his career, he's known as the Dodgers manager. He eventually did die in 2021, so fairly recently. But like I said, he's got a fire in him. He's gone on some legendary rants after games, and I mean I believe he's won the World Series several times with the Dodgers, both in Brooklyn and in LA. He actually did work with the Dodgers before they moved. So yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit! I didn't realize this guy was the cookie guy.
Yeah, this is the cookie guy.
Yeah.
This is the cookie guy.
Ray told him not to. Ray asked him where he thought he was going with that cookie. That was a funny
One of my
scene.
favorite rants. I'm sorry, I'm going to tell a Tommy Lasorda story because I fucking can, and I'm going to until
it's
Adam
your show.
edits it out.
I'll leave it.
Tommy Lasorda, so there was an incident. He was coaching the Dodgers, and there was an incident where one of the pitchers was fined for throwing at a guy named LaFay on the Padres. Like, he beamed him in the head and had to pay a fine. And LaFay was interviewed after, and the LaFay basically said something to the effect of, like, some really mean comments saying, like, if you really want to find somebody, find the guy that told them to do it. And I believe his exact words were, quote, that short little Italian. And so Tommy Lasorda, in one of my favorite rants of all time, he gets asked in the post-game interview the next day, what do you think of LaFay's comments? And he starts very professionally. He's like, I've never told anyone to throw at somebody. I'm offended by that. And like starts very professional. About halfway through, he's like, would never say anything. But if I did, I sure as hell wouldn't make him throw out a 130 pitcher that couldn't hit water if he fell out of a fucking boat. And goes on like a 5-minute rant of just profanity string. We can't play it here because he uses some homophobic slurs. But it's one of the funniest things. Not the slurs, but the rant and just the turn halfway through. Yeah, he's fiery. I mean, I'm not excusing that language. It was used a lot back in that day of sports. But yeah, he's one of the he's, like I said, he's got a fire in a manager that very few have shown since.
I think we got a little bit of that fire in this cold open.
We did.
It really got me into it.
Yeah.
Remember when Steve Scroven told us about these athlete cold opens and how they never really put too much thought into the why of how Ray was coming into contact with these people? Tommy Lasorda is just sitting at Ray and Deborah's kitchen table, and he's there to try Ray's sauce.
Yeah.
That's it.
This is like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar one where it's like, what was the conversation where Ray was like, hey, come over to my house. My wife loves you. Was he like, hey, Tommy, remember when I talked to you that one time on the phone? You should come over to my house and I'll make you my sauce. And apparently both of those men were like, sure, Ray, I'll come over to your house. And then never appear in your life again. But Tommy Lasorda is there, and he is there to try Ray's sauce. And Ray gives him a taste, and he's like, "Oh, it's my mother's recipe." Tommy's like, "It's pretty good." But then he goes over to the stove, and he gives Ray some pointers on how he could make it better. One of his tips is keep your eye on the sauce. And he puts some seasoning in it, and then he really gives Ray some coaching about his stirring technique, which I thought was a pretty funny transposition of...
it was.
Especially because Ray says, or Tommy says, I have a lot of downtime not coaching, but it's been pretty relaxing. And then he proceeds to coach Ray through a stir. I thought he did a really great job in this cold open, almost like
really
Barry
funny.
Bonds.
He felt like an actual actor.
Yeah.
With training.
He did it.
Like he had great timing, great energy. Like I was into it.
His line reads weren't wooden at all. He was, I don't know, but he did a really great job and really sold it.
He did. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure Tommy Lasorda is in Police Squad. Like I think he makes an appearance in the baseball scene. But yeah, he has a good line read. Yeah, I agree. It's not we can tell that they were just kind of like we need something for Tommy Lasorda to do so we could plug it in the promo. But
Tommy Lasorda has 17 active acting credits.
Oh, wow.
Not all of them are as Tommy Lasorda.
Wow, I'm actually surprised about that.
That is interesting.
He was in something called Americathon in 1979 as Jimmy Dunphy. He did additional voices on Pink Panther and Sons. And
Nice.
he played a character named Lucky Lasorda in Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco.
And then he played the animal version of Tommy Lasorda, it sounds like.
And he played Coach Rockwell on Life with Louie, which was an animated show about the life of Louis Anderson.
Oh, okay.
So he's actually had, a fairly successful second career as an actor, and not just as himself. Good for him. And it shows, he's got a natural knack for this, I think.
Yeah, dude knows what's up.
Yeah, Alex, if you die again, get him on the show.
I will do my best, man. It's very hard to talk to other people in that realm.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I couldn't figure it out, but also I think part of that was I didn't realize I was dead.
There you go. That might be it.
That's true. It's probably really annoying for you hearing all those, ghostly
I mean, it was
voices.
the same. It was the same amount of voices in my head.
Okay.
So next scene.
Yeah, next we go to our conveyor belt opening. Important to say that. And our next scene, our first proper scene, is Ray and Deborah just sleeping. The room is dark, and they're in their bed. And then with the sound effect of stadium lights being flipped on, giant lights come on outside and light up the room. And Frank apparently has put in motion sensor lights that, according to Ray, are so sensitive that a moth probably set it off. And it absolutely floods the room with light.
A lot of good physical humor.
I really did. I was going to say the same thing. Is the next thing the lawnmower or the lawnmower thing? Is that or the woodworking thing?
But
yeah.
So we go to the next morning, and there's a loud noise, and Frank apparently is woodworking at 7:30 in the morning. This is when we find out that Ray had given him the big book of hobbies, and his hope was that he would be distracted by the hobbies and wouldn't annoy them. And then I thought it was really funny and well written how Deborah, about to say, so now he's annoying us with his hobbies. So now he's bzz, so now he's bzz, so now he's bzz, was really good. Rule of three writing right there.
I do love how genuinely typically we see Frank and Marie be annoying, like always, and intrusive and all that stuff, but it almost feels within the realm of possibility. I really like how they just kind of leaned into Frank's a dick in this and just like turned it up to 10. I don't know. I think that was a strong choice and it served the episode well.
Yeah, they exaggerate his kind of like wackiness to make the point.
Yeah,
that he goes too far.
Yeah,
we've seen Frank be intrusive, but this is a really strong illustration of Frank being inconsiderate as well. Like he's going to do his woodworking because it's 7:30 and he wants to do his woodworking.
Yeah.
But at this point, Robert enters with a broken nose. Is this the same? This is not the same robe he was wearing in the previous robed Robert appearance, or was it? I don't remember.
I do not have a robe count. I'm going to be honest with you.
Adam, here's the deal. I was too busy trying to see what was underneath the robe to notice the robe itself.
Ayo. Little Brad.
I think his top button is open and some of that classic Brad Garrett chest hair is on display.
Oh, yeah,
he is a hairy dude. Like, it's impressive. He's a hairy dude. But yeah, so he comes in.
Yeah. He comes in and he is exhausted and he says, "Oh, it's over here too." And he says he's going to go upstairs to take a nap. And he reveals that he broke his nose because Frank's car alarm, which apparently is one of the hobbies that he set up in this fit of hobbying, went off in the middle of the night, and Robert ran outside to turn it off and ran headlong into a tree, breaking his nose.
Classic Robert. I'm surprised his nose didn't break the tree.
That would have been better, honestly. That would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, but I just
think that
love
would have been a really easy line to put in too. It could have been like, "I ran into a tree and broke my nose," and Ray or Deborah would be like, "Oh, that's too bad, Robert. You look terrible," and then Robert could be like, "Well, you should see the tree," and that would be a nice little. I don't know.
That would have been. But I mean, it was fine without it. But yeah, that would have been a nice little touch.
It's just a funny image to see. I think Robert being so big, to imagine him being clumsy is really funny.
Yeah.
But Robert goes upstairs to take a nap, and Frank comes over. He bursts through the door. He's covered in sawdust, and he's like, "Come on, let's go. It's 7:30. Time to get to work." And he won't listen to reason. They tell him it's 7:30. Please don't woodwork right now. And he's practically manic. He comes in and he's singing "Ride of the Valkyries" at the top of his lungs, which
it's a decent.
We
don't
have to dig too much into that, but
I want to say also, I guess it's a trope, but I really like it when like the cranky character in like a show or movie is just like so like just unapologetically happy and blissful, and like they're just like enjoying life because of like something like this. And Frank was just like so legitimately appreciative of Ray's gift, and like he actually really likes it. And if it wasn't causing a problem, one, it wouldn't be in the show, but like this would just be such a sweet little thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but that's it
reminds me of Frank the writer, how when Frank started writing, he was super excited about it. I like seeing that side of Frank where he is excited about something, and it sort of inevitably makes him insufferable, but it's nice to see him have something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Frank came in. He basically says 7:30, time to get to work. And why did he go into the garage? Because I remember he disappears into
he
the garage.
a bar or something.
Drill.
That's it.
Which is surprising to me that he wouldn't have a drill, but maybe he needed a more powerful drill. I don't know.
But then we get Frank exit stage back, and then Ray and Deborah are talking, and Deborah's like, "You gotta," basically saying like, "This is insane. This cannot continue." And
then the neighbors call.
Yes, Ruth Green from Two Doors Down calls. And we'll meet Ruth in the next scene. The neighbors apparently want to come over to discuss the parents, because this is too far. I'm sure they have also been disturbed by Frank's lights, heard his car alarm, and now they're hearing him woodwork at 7:30 in the morning. So they want to come over and have a meeting about the parents. Deborah tells this to Ray. Ray is offended at first. He doesn't like that they are, interrogating his parents. And this sort of sets up Ray's position for the whole episode, is that he knows that his parents can be annoying, but at the end of the day, he will defend them at all costs.
And while he's telling Deborah about, no, we don't need the parents,
well, Deborah is telling him, your mom can be a bit of a meddler. And then, we get the reveal as Deborah is wiping things up, and she opens up all the curtains. And as she opens the one curtain, Marie is on the other side of the window squeegeeing it, which was just, great classic, like, sitcom style joke.
It was fantastic. Yeah, I love that. And Marie completely oblivious, just like waving in the window. Yeah. I love that. Can we talk about the fucking? Should we wait till the next scene to talk about the neighbors? Because I have some like questions about their motivations here. Like,
well, I'm happy to hear your questions.
What's up?
Okay,
what's wrong?
So like, this is kind of my thing here, right? Is that there's absolutely like something needs to be done about the parents. No question about it. But like, they're also adults. They're also neighbors. It's not like Allie and Michael and Jeffrey are the ones that are woodworking at 7:30 in the morning. It's not like they're the ones that are doing the floodlights and the car alarms and all that stuff. The parents have a house on the street too. What, like, I guess my point is kind of like, man up and tell the neighbors, tell the other neighbors. This I don't know. I know it's a comedy, but it just upset me though. It's just like, just fucking tell them yourself, you know? Like that was
Mike. There is an in-universe answer for this.
Yeah.
They have met Marie and Frank. They understand that anything they say to them will not get through, and their best chance is talking to their son, who may have some sort of strategy.
Yeah, some
to
leverage
getting through to them.
Ray is probably their last resort. They've probably asked Marie and Frank to keep it down.
Probably,
But then Frank and Marie are absolutely shocked to hear that the neighbors are upset with them when they come in later in the episode. So that makes
that checks out.
All right, fair enough. I guess my thought was like that they. My read of the situation was that the neighbors wanted Ray and Deborah to do the dirty work for them, and I thought that was unfair. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to throw in there, that the neighbors were shitty people.
I think that's a fair read. I think my read was they don't think that they have a chance in getting them to stop, and Ray is their best hope.
That's also probably a fair read.
Mm-hmm. I think
overestimating how much power Ray has, but still,
how much of a spine Ray has.
Yeah,
they must not know him very well.
I mean, what else are they going to do at that point?
Yeah,
but we meet the neighbors in the very next scene. It's presumably that night, and the neighbors have come over to the living room. We've got Lily, Mac, Arthur, and Ruth. Those are the names of the characters according to IMDb. We've got Kathy Ladman, who plays Lily. She is one of the great 80s stand-ups. She was on The Tonight Show 9 times, and she was a regular on The Late Late Show, and has been in like a million things. She's been in Roseanne, and was recurring on Caroline in the City, and Just Shoot Me, Raymond. She actually wrote an episode for King of Queens.
Oh, wow.
She's just a really successful and great comedian.
Is this
yes.
Is there a different? Is this the same comedian that made the appearance on Good Luck Charlie Forever, or is that a different? Is that someone else?
The same comedian who made the appearance on Good Luck Charlie.
Do you know who I'm talking about? It's like
Mike, it's even too deep a cut for me.
No, it's
You're
not.
making an assumption that we've watched that. Hold on.
I'll look it up. Alex has. I know that for a second.
I'm gonna go to Kathy Ladman first. I'm not even gonna try to figure out who you're talking about. Good Luck Charlie. 0 of 0 results.
It's Mrs. Dabney. It's let's see. She's played by Patricia Belcher. So we haven't gotten to her yet. But
okay, so Patricia Belcher is in this episode. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. She's on the couch, and I was just like, oh, she's the one that, you know. I know she's probably way more proud of her other work and not the Disney Channel, but that's what I'm associated with her as. I was pointing out, it's just like, oh, that's the lady that's always giving Gabe a hard time. She's funny. That's how my association was.
You're really gonna it's good that you sprinkle these reference points in for our younger we really want to appeal to the younger demographic.
The young ones.
That's.
But yeah, let's go down the couch, and eventually we will get to Ruth, who's played by Patricia Belcher. Yeah. Kathy Ladman is sitting right next to Ray. We go down to right next to her is Arthur, who's played by Stephen Hack. Stephen Hack is a guest star, all-star. He's got 69 credits. He's done arcs on.
Nice.
He should not work anymore.
Thank you.
He's done arcs on General Hospital and Days of Our Lives, so he's got he's regularly worked in soaps and then also sitcoms. So New Adventures of Old Christine, Fresh Off the Boat recently, and then his most recent credit that's out there is he was in the Perry Mason reboot as well this year. And Pam and Tommy and Angeline. So he's had 3 things come out this year.
Wow,
he's a true working actor. Next to him is Patricia Belcher. So she puts Stephen Hack to shame because she has 159 credits. She is still working. I dare you to name a sitcom from the 2000s, and I will tell you, yes, she's been on it.
How I Met Your Mother?
Yes, she played receptionist in Atlantic City, 2006.
Oh, I know that one.
Good Luck Charlie.
Well, yeah, you just said that.
That's a Disney
All
sitcom.
right.
24 episodes is Mrs. Dabney, yes.
Yes, I knew it. Fucking what other things are there in the Scooby-Doo? I don't know.
Your
what
reference point for a 2000
Scooby-Doo?
sitcom is Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo was big in the 2000s, okay?
Yeah, they had 2 live-action movies and a
Which-
cartoon.
What's new?
Which were
Scooby-Doo.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yes, but it's not a sitcom.
There's a laugh track.
You're terrible at this. Oh my
My
god.
God, go home.
All right.
Look. She was on
We got
starting
one.
in
We got one or two. Yeah.
let's start in 2001. She was on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Okay.
2002, she was in Yes Dear. She was on a show that I've watched, One on One, which I think was a UPN show about a weatherman. She was on Andy Richter Controls the Universe. She was on The Proud Family,
Hold
Malcolm in the
on.
Middle. She
There's
was
a
on
show called Andy Richter Controls the Universe.
Yeah, it was an Andy Richter vehicle.
I'll
she was
have
on
to watch that at some point.
Baroness episode. She was on My Name is Earl. She was on How I Met Your Mother, as we mentioned. She was on Boston Legal. She was on. She was in the movie 500 Days of Summer. She was on According to Jim, Community, The Middle, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Better Off Ted. Those are all right in a row. 2009, she had a great year for starring in sitcoms. This woman has been in everything. You don't get to
good for her.
159 credits unless you're pretty damn good, and she was pretty damn good in this episode.
She was
I
pretty
thought.
damn good. I agree.
She had a
was very
couple
good.
lines, and she delivered them very strongly. And then on the end, we've got Mac, and Mac is a veteran character actor. 200. Look, I didn't intend for this to happen, but we are going up in the credit count as we move along. 215 credits
Wow.
for Lance E. Nichols, who plays Mac. Benjamin Button, he was in. He's been in. He was on Treem, the HBO series, House of Cards. He was in the Fantastic Four movie that came out in 2015. I'm just scrolling and reading.
So it sounds like we didn't realize it, but there's an all-star comedian cast sitting here to shit talk Frank and Marie.
Not really comedians, but all-star character actors.
Yeah.
Like, the only one who's missing is Margot Martindale, honestly.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to make that reference, Adam, and I love you for it.
It is truly a stacked couch, as it were, of just great character actors. It's always cool to look up these people and see that they are,
Their history,
legitimately impressive working actors. But let's get back to the plot. Lily, who is played by Kathy Ladman, tells them that they've always been good neighbors, Marie and Frank, or not Marie and Frank, but Ray and Deborah. They've always been good neighbors, and they're hoping that they can get through to Marie and Frank. And Ray, trying to cut the meeting off early, says, okay, I'm going to handle it. Good meeting. Bye, everyone. But then Max stands up and says, we have some specific complaints to get to. Frank apparently took his leaf blower and blew everything from his lawn onto Max, including a dead chipmunk, was it? Or
I
squirrel?
believe so.
Yeah,
Some
I
dead
believe
rodent.
that would happen.
A dead
Yeah.
rodent. And then Arthur says that Marie steals his packages. And then Ruth threatens to go to the extreme, initiating legal action to get Marie and Frank kicked out of the neighborhood. And then Deborah says, is that possible?
You could do that?
And that
that's
kills
all-
with the audience.
Yeah, that also went through my mind too, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, like that's yeah, we haven't even gotten to the movie segment yet, but already the hilarity of like all the bullshit that these guys have been pulling, not only to Ray and Deborah. It just kind of is also a little cathartic to know that it's not just Ray and Deborah absorbing the entire brunt of everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not
They really-
targeted.
They
Yeah.
really expand the ELR cinematic universe here.
They do.
And it really shows that Ray or Marie and Frank's actions have consequences outside of the family.
I agree.
Ray tries to defend them. He says they recycle, they're not cannibals, which is an interesting running theme through the episode. We'll point it out later, but Mac at this point stands up and says he has a tape. And this is, we see...
And Ray goes, oh shit, they're cannibals. Yeah. I just like...
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
I thought that was very funny.
We see the video, which is a montage of Frank coming out to get the newspaper every morning in a state of undress, varying states of undress. At one point, he drops a banana and picks it up, and it culminates with him... Yeah, and then eats it. Scratching his ass.
Oh, I think that was a cannoli, actually.
Oh, it was.
Oh, even better. It was
like the end of a bed.
Oh my god, even better.
No, they're Italians.
Yeah, not only is he disgusting, he's a stereotype.
Yeah. I was just thinking.
Well, to be fair, though, I mean, I'm eating a cannoli right now. I eat a cannoli during every episode, and then when I'm not on mic, I'm sucking that ricotta out of it.
He does it very silently as to not accidentally ASMR you
Which
all.
In a way, I think it's worse that I do it silently. But I do get them from Duane, Reade. And unfortunately, you know what that means.
They're all loose. But I just...
But yes, so the video culminates with Frank coming out in a towel, and rather than dropping a banana or a cannoli, whatever it may be, he drops his towel, and they freeze on Frank's, presumably his bare ass. I hope he didn't turn around.
They just see the camera going up, and then it just cuts away. Which I gotta be honest. I was just gonna say, like, the joke is made later, but why the hell would you pause on the ass? Like, we get the idea. We get the idea. Why do you, as neighbors, need to just stare? I don't know.
The camera work here was very well done from like a cinematography point of view.
Yeah.
Like, I could see exactly where it was going before it went there, but
he
just
must have
to see it all
camera.
come to fruition, it was very funny.
It was.
Wow.
They freeze on it and announce Exhibit A. And the question is asked, is that a tattoo? And then Ray says, no.
No.
And everyone says, ew. And at that point, Frank and Marie, still frozen on Frank's ass, Frank and Marie barge in because Frank has made a birdhouse. And Marie is like, look what your father did. Which is cute to see that they're so excited about it.
Like, they picked the not the best time to be just like a cute old couple.
Yeah. And they notice the ass on the TV. And Frank's reaction to this is so weird. Alex and I talked about it before you got here.
Yeah.
He is so titillated at the idea. He's not just okay with his son having the neighbors over for a porno party, but he's actually excited about it. He's like, ooh, a porno party.
And he only gets upset about it when he realizes whose ass they're all staring at.
He's pointing and laughing at it. He's like, who's the fat ass? And we get one of my favorite holy craps in the show so far.
This is a good one. This was a very, very good one.
Marie recognizes it, and Frank, of course, delivers a classic holy crap. And then Lily tells them that they have complaints about their behavior, and that just the furiosity that when Marie realizes that Ray is supposedly holding this rally and he's serving her cookies at his rally against them. And Frank is just furious that Ray took sides against the family, even though Ray is trying to tell them that he's defending them. And then he storms out. Marie tries to take the tape, and I think it's pretty funny that she can't figure out how to eject the tape, so she just unplugs and takes their VCR, and they storm out. That was a hard scene to watch. I mean, their embarrassment and the sense of betrayal is, I really feel for them.
Yeah, I do too. Outside of the, like, obviously, like, they are doing wrong in the neighborhood and they're not being very neighborly, but, like, in their minds, coming to this scene, like, it's gotta be confusing and scary and weird.
It's not a great look.
And, yeah, like, obviously, again, there's reason for what has transpired, but they don't know that yet.
What's weird is that to think about them walking into their son, their daughter-in-law, and all of their immediate neighbors sitting silently, looking at a paused image of Frank's ass. They're not laughing at him. They're not, nothing is going on.
That
is such a confusing scenario.
I really did not
into.
consider that. Yeah,
They're simply observing.
Yeah, absorbing.
They're taking it in.
They're taking it in. But we go to the next scene, and Ray and Deborah are in bed. Deborah is asleep, and Ray is just staring straight ahead. He can't sleep. He wakes up Deborah. I thought we were going to get a classic, Deborah, but we didn't. He just said, Deborah, Deborah, Deborah. And he tells her he can't sleep because it's too quiet. He's like, do you hear the car alarm? And she's like, no. And he's like, exactly. He can tell that Frank has abandoned his hobbies because he's hurt. And Ray feels guilty. He has a pretty good line that sets up the next scene, or not the next scene, but 2 scenes from now. Guilt is just a way of life for me. I was trained by masters, my mother, my father, the Pope, and that'll pay off later.
It's a great line.
But we go to the next day. He goes over to Marie and Frank's house, and there's a giant sandwich laid out, and nobody's around. And he says, oh my God, they killed themselves, and Robert made them into sandwiches. That's our second hit of the cannibalism runner, and it's going to pay off at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
Marie and Frank come in. They say, they're setting up like punch bowls and stuff and napkins, and they say, they're not hurt. The neighbors were right. It's water under the bridge. And they reveal that they're having the neighbors over because Ray reaches for the sandwich and she's like, "Oh no, that's for the neighbors." And then at that moment, Lily, Arthur, Mac, and Ruth, the neighbors, come over, and Ray is like, well, "You're all friends now." And Robert enters. Yeah, they're all getting along, and Robert enters with like a triumphant, "Here's the ice," and everybody like cheers for him. And Frank is like, "Great job, son." And then Marie just leans over and she's like, "Thanks for stopping by, Ray." And they all ignore him and they're all getting along great. And Ray just sort of sheepishly leaves.
The absolute manipulative, like horrible, like parenting of Marie and Frank strike again. Again, they only praise Robert when it's to hurt Ray.
Yeah.
It's never about Robert.
Robert only succeeds when Ray fails. I also want to say, like, I'm just gonna be real here. The neighbors forgave them way too quickly. It's just like they've been disrupting their life for so long. You threw a dead rat at me. Oh shit! There's a sandwich. I'll be there. Let's have dip. Why not?
Well, they did have one night with no disturbances. So
Still.
I think they think that that the intervention worked.
It also,
but yes, is very cold.
We
and
also
none of them even
have,
greet Ray.
Not at least, yeah.
We also don't have any context for what transpired between, that day and this one. Again, my headcanon is Marie and Frank, fueled by getting back at their son, worked their asses off to make amends as quickly as possible with everyone else at that meeting.
They called everyone, or they went over and apologized and were really sincere about it and invited them to come over, all to get back at Ray, which is so cold. Speaking of cold, the next night, Ray gets up in apparently a cold sweat, and Deborah's sleeping, room is dark. He stumbles to the bathroom. This scene is nuts. This is the second time we've seen a dream sequence on this show, and it's wild. Ray is like wiping his or rinsing his face off, and then he looks up in the bathroom mirror, and Frank is there looking back at him. And Ray then opens the cabinet. He takes some pills, which are in a container. And when he closes the cabinet, Marie is there with Frank. And she says, it's in the Bible, honor thy mother and father or something.
She says, honor thy mother.
She says,
and then...
honor thy mother. And then Frank is like, what about the father? And she's like, him to. I thought her delivery in this was so good and weird, and really selling like the dreaminess of it and the seriousness of what Ray perceives them to feel. But Ray, looks down, or Ray goes to go back to bed, and then he goes back to the mirror and looks one last time, and the Pope is there. So this pays off from that earlier line. The Pope is there. He's wagging his finger at him. This is an interesting man. So this is Eugene Greytack.
Oh, of course. You pulled the Pope up too? Yeah, oh my God. I thought that you were saying Ray's an interesting man because he sees his mom, his dad, and the Pope. I thought that's what you were going for.
Eugene Greytack is an interesting man because he has 20 acting credits, and they are all as Pope John Paul II.
He does look a lot like Pope John Paul II. It's very close.
He played the Pope on 20 separate TV shows, movies, and his only self-credit is also as the Pope. So that's actually 21 appearances as the Pope. This guy was a retired real estate broker in Los Angeles before launching a career as a Pope John Paul II impersonator.
That's very funny.
He was actually a lifelong Catholic, and he didn't launch his impersonating career until the Archdiocese of Los Angeles informed him that impersonating the Pope was not an offense in the church.
I love that had to be explicitly stated. Wow. That's very funny.
So weird. He was born in 1925, and he lived until 2010. So
wow, good for him.
Real long life. Two careers: real estate broker and a Pope impersonator. So super interesting. He was actually in Sister Act. He played the Pope in Sister Act as well. Do you guys know that I have both Sister Act movie soundtracks on vinyl?
Bonus episode.
We'll break it down track by track.
Yeah. You're an interesting man, Adam. Anyway, the next scene we see with Ray.
Ray, so perhaps inspired by the appearance of the Pope in his dream, Ray goes to visit a priest. The priest is played by Don Perry, who is also a guest star all-star. 85 credits. His last was on Hot in Cleveland, which was in 2011, and he died in 2012. So he worked up, worked
before he died,
all the way to the end. And again, another person who was just on every sitcom imaginable. Yeah. Oh, he's on Living Single. So Ray goes into this room in the church where the priest, played by Don Perry, is sitting, and he's like, is this the confessional? Where's the confessional? Apparently the booth is out, and they just do it in this sparse room. Mike, is this real?
Yeah, do they actually do this, Mike?
No, so it's a play, right? Obviously, this is not how it actually is. What happened before Vatican II, pre-Vatican II, you only had the option of kneeling behind the "You Can't See Me" screen, where you just stare into the thing, and then post-Vatican II, basically they gave you the option. They gave you the option of you can sit behind the screen, or you can go around the wall and sit and face the priest face to face. It's not traditionally how it's done, but like you have that option now.
But they never just do it in an empty room.
Unless there are extenuating circumstances, no. Mm-hmm. Like I've been to like in retreat houses, and there are too many people to fit in the confessional, so they'll have it in a private room. Like that happens when you need extra space. It's not like it's not like it doesn't count if the screen isn't there, but it's like this does not happen.
But in an actual church, you would think they would have the space for the typical.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy was not busy.
Yeah, exactly.
He was just sitting in there reading.
So but I love that line of Ray walking in being like, "Where's this thing?" And the priest just responded with, "You haven't been here in a while, have you?" I thought that was such a great line.
Well, Ray sits down and he starts his confessional, and he confesses to cursing about 50,000 times and eating meat on Friday, and the priest cuts him off and says, "We don't do that anymore." Is that also a Vatican II
Mike, do we
thing?
not do that anymore?
Technically, during Lent, but that's the only season that it used to be literally every Friday Catholics were not allowed to eat meat. Now it is only during Lent you're technically not supposed to have meat on Fridays.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
It doesn't, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter. It's a way, it's a way to pray. That's all. Yeah.
It's a way to pray.
Yeah.
What a way to pray.
It is a way to pray. There you go.
We have one of those airport prayer rooms. They were remodeling one of the terminals at LaGuardia, and we just came by, and Duane lent us his truck, and we went by and we picked that up, and
we literally
that's just
took
in
a
the
chainsaw.
Barone zone.
Yeah, we just cut
it out.
the room.
And we took it, and there were people of all faiths in there already, so we had to feed them and send them on their way. We gave them Metro cards,
that they all had to buy from the Duane Reade. So Duane was super
and of
happy.
course,
yeah,
loose. Duane only has those SBS bus tickets too, so that you can only use more New York specifics. Okay,
all right.
So Ray thinks he broke one of the commandments, honoring thy mother and father. And I thought the priest's line of, I don't get that a lot from people in your age group. It's more coveting thy neighbor's wife.
Yeah. She's not a problem here.
And then he's like, oh, you're trying to put them in a home, which was also pretty funny. But Ray explains the situation, and then he tells the priest he still feels guilty even though he didn't do anything wrong. And then the priest asks, well, how do you feel about your parents? And Ray sort of comes to the conclusion that maybe he feels this way because a part of him also wants to throw them out of the neighborhood, also agrees with the neighbors. And then the priest tells him a parable about an abrasive man on the church council, and he wanted to get rid of him. And he says, one day I said Frank, and Ray cuts him off. He's like, wait, Frank Barone?
Frank Barone?
And the priest's like, yeah, that's not important. Anyway, what I said to him was, and then,
No, Frank Barone is my father.
Your
parents are Frank and Marie Barone? And he takes a beat, and you're absolved.
Which is just beautiful comedy.
Yes,
I could
well-written
check, but
scene.
I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
I also love the one up.
well-written
I also love the one F line of I used to fantasize about him converting to Judaism.
What a strong scene.
Probably one of my favorites in the whole show so far.
Yeah. I give the what was the priest actor name?
Dom Perry.
Did a great job on this scene. Really did.
Guest star, all-star.
Guest star, all-star, indeed.
For sure.
And yeah, Ray leaves and says, "Hey, fathers, do you think it's a good idea if I tell my parents how I'm feeling?" And what was this line? He's like, "Are you going to curse when you? Oh no, are you going to take the name of the Lord in vain while you do it? No, then go with God." That's a good little.
That.
Yeah.
The detail of everybody in Lynbrook knows Frank and Marie Barone, and they hate them.
They understand.
They get it.
It's so funny. Ray goes over to the Barone's house then, and Marie, Frank, and Robert are eating dinner, presumably leftovers from the party. And Ray barges in, and he's going to say his piece, and they all look at him, and Frank is like, okay, you've got our attention, and Marie's like, go ahead, say what you need to say. And he says, listen, I'm sorry. And then Marie and Frank are thrilled. He said it. And they come up and they hug him. And that Marie says, that's all any parent wants. And Ray's like, constant apology. Yeah. And then what happens next? Oh, my God. This is two weeks in a row.
It's
just
so
Robert
funny.
Getting pummeled.
It's so depressing, but oh my God.
Robert sitting down.
And
they Frank and Marie usher Ray over to the table, and Frank's like, hey, Robert, this is Ray's chair. And Robert has to get up, and he moves to the side, and he is about to reach for his Canada Dry, and then Frank swipes it from him and gives it to Ray, and oh my God. And then the look that he's making, like, eye contact with Ray, and Ray is making eye contact with him, looking up at him as Frank and Marie feed him and spoon him all of Robert's food. And that's just like so telling of like, this is something that has happened to Robert
So many
throughout
times.
his entire life, where
Yeah.
Ray knows that he's getting this preferential treatment, and he's just looking up at Robert like, well, what can
Things
you
are
do?
back to normal.
Yeah.
Robert loses when Ray wins.
Poor Robert. I feel so bad for him.
Poor Robert.
I do too.
At least he's got
too.
Shamsky and Amy.
He does.
We
Yeah,
just don't
but-
see them in this episode.
Just
Life's
watching
coming around. Just you wait.
Just
Yeah.
watching Robert fall apart is just, it's both heartbreaking, but oh my god, is it so funny. It's just like this return of the prodigal son moment. Yeah.
Well, we go from there to our hot close, where we're back in the priest's mysterious room, and he is saying, he's consoling somebody who's having difficulty with their parents. And then we cut over to Robert sitting there looking defeated. And he says, it's quite normal to have thoughts about your parents dying. And then Robert says, did I mention the part about the sandwiches? And the fact that that's what they chose to call back to is so funny.
Yeah.
Because it implies, the logic there is that when Ray said that, that is a known recurring thought that Robert has had and shared with Ray about killing his parents and turning them into sandwiches.
Into sandwiches. I love it. Oh my god.
Like he is.
So
that was not
troubling.
a random thought from Ray. That was something that they have talked about.
They've been crushing
That's
it
a
with the hot
legitimate
clotheslines.
possibility.
Yeah.
They've been really strong.
Honestly, all around, one of the best episodes that we've seen so far. Almost without question. Such a strong showing. Great episode.
Without the cold open is okay, but
Yeah, it's
exclusive of that, it's really, really strong. Like the plotting is really strong. The jokes, the structure of each individual scene, like from a setup payoff perspective, is so strong. Everything starts with a strong setup and ends with a really strong. It's Frank's ass. It's the priest absolving Ray because he knows Frank. It's Robert getting crushed when they forgive him and give him all of his food. And then even the hot clothes, the sandwiches bit, which if you're not paying attention, you don't notice. But if you do and you think about it, it's really funny.
It lands.
a real payoff.
It lands. Absolutely.
What a great episode. Let's go ahead, though, and turn to our patented barometer. It's time to rate Ray's performance as a son, husband, brother, neighbor, sauce maker, all sorts of things. We're comparing him on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the great sitcom dads of all time, your Uncle Phil's, Danny Tanner's, and 1 being the men of television who actively harm their families, Walter White, Don Draper. Mike, where is Ray coming in for you this episode?
Pretty high, honestly. I'm gonna be real. I don't think look, he's in a hard spot, right? Like, sure, Deborah wants Ray to kind of shit on his parents and tell them to do, but he doesn't even really get the opportunity to tell his parents, hey guys, let's approach this gently. He doesn't get that opportunity. The neighbors come over and just start saying, guys, they suck. And Ray is kind of a good son in saying, well, hold on. And so I can't, I think that's a good son thing to do. I don't think he does anything to actively harm people, except, maybe the Pope. I don't know, by imply, I don't know. But that's about it. Or actually Robert. He hurts Robert, so I guess that is not great. But yeah, I think he actively does try to do things right, and when he doesn't feel like he is doing right, he feels real guilt and shows that he's a real human being capable of emotion and empathy and stuff like that. So yeah, my instinct is a 7, so I'm going with the 7 because there is no consequence to the barometer. So I'm going to say 7 for Ray this episode.
All right, Alex, where are you coming in?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? This is another one of those episodes where it's not really about what Ray does. It's more just about what things happen to Ray and his self-discovery. as he goes throughout the episode. So when I think about it like that, he actively realizes, right, that maybe his guilt is coming from the thought of that his neighbors are right and that his parents are a problem and should probably be in a home or anywhere else. And I think like the whole episode is Ray just kind of trying to figure out his feelings and confront them. He's not trying to hide from them. He's not doing anything like that. And I think he plays like everything pretty well, and like things just don't go as well until the very end when he falls into the trap of not trying to move forward with his parents and create, the foundation for a strong future through a difficult conversation, instead taking the easy route that's going to result in no change, and his parents are just going to keep getting away with this behavior. And that's one mistake, but it's a big one. And it tells me that Ray, even if he learned his mistake, he did not learn enough to try and make the lives of himself, his brother, and his parents better in the long run. 6.
Okay.
6 for Alex. That's fair.
That's a good point. I hadn't considered that. For me, previously we've been inclined to rate Ray higher when his conflicts are internal ones, because that shows, self-reflection. That shows that he wants to reconcile his circumstances, his relationships with his family, with Deborah, with whomever the conflict is, born out of. He, in this episode, doesn't do anything wrong, explicitly. He has the neighbors over and he defends his parents to them. He tries to make amends with his parents after they come over and discover the rally. And then he goes on a journey to resolve his guilt. And then eventually he appeases them by apologizing. So, I think he took an emotional journey that ended up in, well, I'm just going to maintain the status quo because that's easiest for everyone. So what Alex is saying about that's not going to lead to any growth for anybody, and in fact, it ends up hurting Robert because it displaces him from the family yet again.
Good point.
I think that's a knock on him if we're, judging him as a person. He's taking the easy way out. He's maintaining the status quo. I mean, he's good to Deborah. He's good to his parents in sort of that sense of apologizing and feeling guilty. He lets Robert sleep in his bed in the very beginning of the episode, so I guess that's fine.
That's true too.
Yeah, so I'm feeling about the same as Alex, where this is not like a stellar performance, but it's not. He didn't hurt anyone. Sort of like Recovering Pessimist. This is a fully internal conflict for him. It just doesn't lead to any growth. So I'm going to give him a 6.5.
Well, that's easy to average out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes out evenly to a 6.5 for this episode.
Mike, that's the opposite of even.
Well, shush. Be quiet. First of all, no, it's not. But still, it's good enough. It's nice and clean.
6.5 is not an even number.
Yeah, but the opposite of an even number is an odd number.
You want me to change my rating so it's a even number?
No. We're sticking with 6.5. We're sticking with 6.5. I mean, the decimal isn't ugly. It's not like it's like the 1/6 something that we get sometimes. 6.5.
Let's see.
Sticking with that.
Episodes. Okay, Neighbors, 6.5. Let's see. Ray's average is at 5.5 right now. Let's see what happens when we put 6.5 in.
It's probably going to go up.
It does. It goes up to 5.6.
Wow, look at that.
It's a pretty significant dip from the previous episode, but it's still way higher than some
average.
of his lows. Yeah.
All right, we'll take that. You know what? Take it. Yeah, Ray's getting Ray seems
go.
to be ready to go.
Shut up. He's been on a roll.
Yeah, he's doing mediocre. He's getting better. I give him credit. All right. Mediocre. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Everybody Loves Raymond. Please make sure to follow us on whatever podcasting thing that you're listening to us on right now. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, some other weird forum. Leave a rate and review because we like to hear your beautiful voice. Send us. I'm sorry. Should I not compliment the listeners at all?
Do you want them to record?
Send an emailed voice memo.
Send us a
MP3. Send us an emailed voice memo
of you reviewing the show.
To our email, which is in the description.
No, you know what? Actually, one thing we have to do, which I've been meaning to do. Yeah, well, we need to get 1-800-RAYMOND. But one thing that I've been meaning to do is I want to shout out a couple of people who have left reviews for this show.
Excellent.
Because they were very kind reviews. So I want to shout out Calexis96 via Apple Podcasts. It says, so funny. 5 stars. I was randomly wondering if there are any podcasts for Everybody Loves Raymond and found this one. The hosts are so funny and seem like genuine friends having fun while discussing the series. I used to watch the series a lot and love hearing other people's thoughts on it. So that is really,
that's so
really
sweet.
Nice, and we really appreciate that.
Sounds like genuine friends. We fooled them.
Got him.
Turns out we're better actors than we thought.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's so nice. We really, really appreciate it. And hey, keep leaving those reviews. We'll keep shouting out the people who leave them. Other than that, head over to postfund.info/ads. Support our sponsors because we get a little money on the back end if you do that. And, hit us up on Instagram and Facebook at Barone Zone. We're occasionally on the Everybody Loves Raymond Reddit. They don't like us, but we keep coming back.
Absolutely.
Can't stop us.
But I guess there's only one thing left to say. It is our classic sign-off. Everybody
loves
Raymond.
And we love you. Thanks for listening, guys.
Goodbye.